Okay, we are live. Look at that. Okay. Hi, everybody. Joe Trotoli here. I'm with Diane Carlson, and it looks a little bit different because normally we're in different boxes because we're in different locations. But if you see, we're in the same box right now, Diane and I. That's because Diane happens to work with us in our local call center over here. In fact, Diane was one of our first 4 employees. I remember specifically. And it wasn't even my company at the time. I was, the upline to the company. And I remember talking to Diane on the phone, to have her come in for an interview. And I remember she told me that she would call me back when she goes on her walk at lunch. This was over 2 years ago. Exactly. And to this day, you still go on your walk at lunch. Walk. Every single day. So one of the themes out there that I've been paying attention to, and I'm going to jump on this gravy train too because of myself, but there's been a big health movement out there that I'm seeing. I know Brad and Eric Fierro, Bradley Hannon, they've been really kind of promoting the health aspect of it. And, I'm here, with someone that literally spends her lunch hour walking for 45 or 50 minutes around the area. Now, obviously, if it's raining, she doesn't do that. But, this is something she told me over 2 years ago, and it's something I witnessed today. So it's very important. So brings me my first question, and for those of you who don't realize, here in this location here, we have agents that sell both Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplements over the phone, although it's been primarily Medicare Advantage. And Diane consistently does anywhere between 22 and 28 Medicare clients every single month. And then she also is our PDP expert in the office. And one of the things that we taught her to do was to sell cancer insurance, during, with the permission of the client, of course, but during the presentation of the prescription drug plan. And it's very successful, 55% attachment rate, would you say? Yeah. Yes. And it's because she just reads, some language that we put together. So first question I bring up right here is, how did you get started in the insurance industry and what attracted you to what we do? Okay. You can look right in the camera.
Well, basically, I started back in 1992, right after my son was born. And I was looking for better pay, better job. I was a hairdresser before that. And something more consistent. And we started out, it was basically phone work, telemarketing, and selling disability benefits. And for Allstate and Sears. And I went into a little bit of life insurance and health insurance as well. And I had a tough time with that because, you would present all these plans to people and, some of them would go, they would purchase the plan, and you're working with these people for a half hour, 45 minutes, sometimes even more, a couple of phone calls. And then, you spend all that time with them and they don't want to go with the plan. They either found something for less expensive, or they're broke, they're poor, and or they're just scared to make a change, altogether. So I kind of got a little bit discouraged. And
that'll happen to anyone.
Exactly.
Especially when you spend a long time with them, you show them a better option. And that's one of the struggles that you have here. That's something true. We were discussing just before. We rehearsed the questions in case you didn't know.
Of course.
But that kind of brings me to my next question is, what would you say has been something that's been difficult for you?
Yeah, well, that was
difficult here. Let's talk about here.
Yeah. Well, for here too, I mean, the main thing is we bump into that too. I did make that switch over to Medicare instead of the life and the health. And going into Medicare, actually, I liked it a lot better because not only was I on Medicare, and I knew the background, but I really felt like I was helping people more than the life and the health and talking to people that were T65, like before 65 years old. So when I got to the Medicare part of it, there's like just so many things that you can offer them and help them. And you really are looking out after their best interest, that's for sure. So with all the plans that they have that's available to them, you have your Medicare supplements, which, I mean, I can lay my head down and rest at night, if you do sell a client. because they're getting the best coverage that's out there. I always call it like the platinum or the Cadillac plan, but that's the best if it's affordable for them. And then when you have the good thing about this is we could also do the Advantage plan. We could swing from one to the other. So it's either the Medicare supplement, which is the best plan out there for them. And then you have other products you can tack along with that. Or when you go to the Advantage plan, you're working with a different kind of a client sometimes. And you're able to really do like a buffet of things for them. That's the best way to call it, because you're looking at all the options that could help them, their dental, their vision, getting their doctors together. It's really kind of like personalized service.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but the client sees that. And I would say that I felt better because you're getting more clients that way because you're really putting in the work and the work with them, and it's more personalized. So when I got into the Medicare side of it, I felt better about it. I slept better at night, and the chances of getting sales are way better as well.
Absolutely.
So, and, like I said, you're really helping the client, and you're really going over everything with them. And, we have a lot of products. We're brokers. So, it's not just looking at just one plan for them.
It's different options. Yeah.
They have a lot of different options.
What would you say has been your biggest challenge here? What has been your struggle? We were just talking about it.
Yeah, the struggle basically, with the clients, again, sometimes you are up against where they've been with a plan for 11 years or since they've been on Medicare, and they're like really tough. They're like, no matter how good the plan is, and you could make them write it down, like the benefits are thousands of dollars more or hundreds of dollars more, and you can't make them budge, some of them.
Trust.
And you feel bad. You really feel bad.
It's about trust.
They
don't trust.
Or that too. Yeah. That they feel, I don't know whether it is, whether they think.
Oh no, it's trust. There's only two reasons people don't proceed with you. It's money or trust.
Money or trust.
So when you can kind of lay out side by side two options for them, when they come to you for help, which is what they do, they come to us for help, and they explain. We ask them why, and they explain to us that they're struggling to make their copays, they're struggling to pay for their medicine, and we find them a solution that specifically meets their needs. We have them write down the side by side.
We do.
And when they're staring at the side by side and they're seeing every copay, $10, $25, $30 less, medicine's cut in half, twice as much dental, an extra $100 a year on the over the counter. And they say to you, or they say to us, that they're just not ready to make a change. It's because we as agents, we haven't fully won over their trust. And that's not an easy thing to do, but it's also not a hard thing to do. So it's definitely something that we as agents can work on. And sometimes it may take a second call or a third call. Sometimes it might take a second voice, but we can try to overcome that. But that's a struggle. If you guys are ever, we're wondering like how it works over the telephone, we have to do more work to earn the trust than you do in the face-to-face field, because they can see your face, you're there, your mannerisms, your body language. It doesn't mean that the agent in the field is the trusted agent. It doesn't. We take as much business away, the field agent, as the field agent they think to take away from the phone agent. But we have to work harder at the trust factor. So if you ever look at any of our scripting, there's a tremendous amount of front-end scripting that's all centered around trust, because we have to establish that very, very early on to make the whole thing go well. Brings me to my third question, which we have written down, is what would you say has been your biggest success? What are you, working here, working in Medicare, what would you say has been the catalyst of your help?
That is an easy question, because my biggest success in this industry, from Medicare, I'm only in the Medicare industry since 2016. So I do have to say, especially since I'm here, and what am I going on 2 years, I think it is, since we started. And I can see the difference even in the last year. But the biggest success, not only the continuing education that you have to do, the AHIP, because you really do learn a lot from that, especially doing it over and over and over every year. But never, ever, ever be afraid to ask questions. Never. Joe as my mentor, I mean, he must get tired of me because I text him. Yeah, mentor, correct. I'm texting him, instant messaging him, asking questions in person. I catch him off guard all the time, phone calls. Never be afraid to ask a question.
We get some hard cases.
Yeah.
We do. We get a lot of hard cases.
When in doubt,
difficult cases.
When in doubt, ask. So that's how I learn. I mean, Joe lays everything out. I mean, to the T to learn and make you successful. That I have to say. But really, without him, I wouldn't know or be where I am in the year. I think in the last year, I really picked things up.
We didn't rehearse this.
No, that was not for sure. So, but really, if it wasn't for him, because he's almost like my dictionary, I go to him for everything, all the information. So besides learning on myself, definitely don't ever be afraid to ask questions, and when in doubt on anything, because you definitely want to make sure. We do a lot of dual eligible plans, and those could be tricky too. So, and that's the other thing. Yeah, he laid everything
Not my favorite, but we got to serve the community.
Yeah, and it also keeps us busy in the off time as well.
Which is now.
Right, and right now, I mean, we're still doing deals, almost a deal a day, if not more. In the off season, so with the DSNPs, so absolutely. You want to be totally informed on that as well. So in other words, whatever you could do to make business in the off season, because we all clean up in October, annual enrollment, and open enrollment. But whatever you can do, and just learn. I mean, that's it. Ask questions, learn, continuing education. My favorite one, of course, is research.
I used to make fun of Diane. I used to call her
the librarian.
The ship counselor.
Yeah.
She was always doing free work for people, but
it pays off though.
It pays off in the long run.
It does pay off. Yeah.
We would do office meetings, and I would refer to her as our office ship counselor.
Exactly. So, but
final question, because we don't want to bore you guys out there, and that is, what advice would you give to the new agent that's watching this right now?
A brand new agent?
Brand new agent or a new agent in Medicare. What advice would you give them?
Well, definitely keep your eyes open. Stay open. Be open-minded. Definitely. Be open-minded and, make sure you have all the tools. Make sure you have all the tools and get as much education, as you can. Medicare mentors.
That's us. One of these.
Yep. You need a mentor. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone because it's just.
You could.
Yeah, but you're overloading yourself. So
I didn't do it alone.
When you have a shoulder to lean on, seriously, it really helps you move along. And then little by little, you kind of you can wean yourself off. But you know what? You're always learning, and just always be open. Always be open, and always, never mind to ask questions and learn. You'll be successful that way. And work. Yes.
Diane comes to work every day on time.
Make the dials.
What time do you come to work?
Well, 9:30.
And then you leave
sometimes
usually 6.
I mean, this week was a little off because I had company. But I mean, I'll stay to 6 to 7 sometimes, even if I have to. I've stayed.
Gotta work.
Yeah, you have to
put the time in.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love having you here.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate everything that you do.
And with my company and with my family.
You weren't that nervous, were you?
No.
No? It wasn't that bad?
Mm-mm.
You can say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.